All right, guys, what's going on? How you doing, Gervish, Carson, Andrew, Yash? Welcome back, bro. Guggen. Welcome. Overall, if you look at the 10-minute chart on SPY today, it pretty much tells you what happens. But we called out this range right in the morning, so it was very clear. You can buy calls at support, buy puts at resistance, and you can just scalp all day. What's up, Ricky? I had a very good day, probably my best day in a couple of weeks. Yash just called out banger after banger. When he's on a streak like that, I recommend at least looking at his plays because he does get on hot streaks. And well, he's a great trader. But yeah, we had a very tight day on SPY here. If you look at it at the end of the day, for all the excitement, for all the plays that we crushed today, there wasn't really much action, to be honest. If you guys look at SPY here, they tried to break it out at the end of the day here. That's where I bought calls. My fourth round of SPX, and those ones went to shit. So basically, if you have, let's say I made 5 grand on my other 3 scalps. I threw a grand back in on the last one. That's how I always play. My last scalp usually goes to shit. What's up, Ricky? Hi, G Money. And this is where I tried those SPX calls with 1/5 of my profit for today, and it didn't work. So I gave back 1/5 the profit. Not gonna hurt me in the long term. That's basically how I play. I know a lot of new members came in, even one yesterday. I'm not gonna name names, but as soon as he came in, didn't even watch session, didn't do anything, didn't wait to watch our style, didn't watch anything, just jumped into a play right away. I said, be patient. Today I seen him jump in 4 more plays. I said, be patient. Just guys, this is your own account. This is not about hitting big plays. This is about stacking money over the long term. So just remember that. Manage your own account based on your risk, your reward, and play like that. I mean, QQQ. Strongest of the day, I think. Let's see, we'll look at the end. QQQ closed near the high of the day, so that daily candle is going to look pretty good, yeah. And we're just parabolic on the daily, as you guys see here. You got to stretch out these charts. We've been green for 3, 6, 7 days in a row on QQQ. We've broken through most resistances. A better chart is this NQ weekly that I sent yesterday. Here's the NQ futures. I sent this chart in the chat yesterday, and as you guys can see, we are right at resistance now. So this close right here, overnight, if we do not get a pullback, if we open above this tomorrow, most likely this continues. If we reject this because of the jobs number at 8:30 in the morning, get ready for a pretty sizable pullback in my opinion. After 7 days straight up, they're on QQQ, we can definitely have a bit of pullback here that will be completely healthy. And I'd say even a pullback all the way to 12,158 on NQ. I know you guys don't trade futures, so even a pullback on QQQ, we can get all the way down to 307 and still be healthy, guys. That's like a 15-point down move. That's why when these trends start, these bullish trends, it's better to buy the dip rather than short the rip. So you have to be... We are still in a bear market. I'm not saying we're going right back to all-time highs, but I'm saying the trend is up. If you don't switch, like you guys seen me, I started this week shorting. I lost on a couple plays on Monday, Tuesday. I did have a bias. I checked myself last night, started buying the dip today, had my best day in the last couple weeks, and all is well in the world again. So you just check yourself sometimes, make sure you don't have a bias coming into every day. If the trend is up and the dips are being bought, there's no reason to be taking puts. Try to buy that dip instead, in my opinion. XLF completely sideways as well. Looked like shit for half the day. One thing we will go over on XLF in a bit. VIX closed at the low of the day as well. Very bullish again. Just red candle after red candle on VIX. Barely holding on to this little support line by a thread here. This is the rut, the futures for IWM. As you guys see here, we're in a very wide range. Everything, so we crossed over 1890. We went right to 1920. I told you guys yesterday my only short that I would take would be rut at 1920. I would short IWM. Got right there this morning, pre-market at like 6:30 a.m. I was still sleeping, unfortunately. So I couldn't short the futures, but during the day, as you guys see here, we have pulled back exactly off 1920, which is written in the chat. You can go look it up. And now the question is, do they come back to test this 1890 or do they double top this 1920 and take it out? So let's see what happens tomorrow. Again, SPX, not really nothing. I called it out this morning, 4140, 4155. Key levels on SPX given out at like 10 a.m. or something. You guys could have traded this all day in this range, all day. Until it breaks the levels, you could just keep trading it. And this was a break of the level, which is why this is the only time I took calls, is because it broke the level at the end of the day and they didn't work, but I'll take that trade every time. Sometimes these trades go like this. Sometimes these trades go like this. So the better probability is this. As you guys see, it usually follows through when it breaks a resistance. So that's why I'll continue taking those trades if I have profits, and we'll see what happens. AMD super strong today, led the way. Chips right in the morning were telling me this is a buy the dip day. I was watching the AMD call premium on the 105s for next week. I told you guys chips are one of my leading indicators for the market. SPX pulled back here. A lot of people jumped in puts. I said this is a fake dip. Right away ripped. SPX pulled back here. I said this one may be caution because AMD was actually pulling back with the market, but we ended up hitting another SPX call off of that as well, as AMD also held the cloud there as well, as you guys can see here. Big pullback just to the 10-minute cloud and bounce. So we just rode the 10-minute cloud up all day, didn't lose it at all, and that told me if AMD and the chips are strong, the market's not going to pull back anything significant. If AMD started losing the cloud, then I would correlate that as a real weakness in the market. I do put a lot of weight on the chips, guys, as you guys know if you've been in here for a while. JPM. So yesterday we had the exact same type of play. Basically why I took JPM. Dougal reminded me this morning because I forgot yesterday. I was watching JPM. I couldn't pull the trigger. JPM was doing this until 10:10 straight sell-off. If you guys look, this is yesterday's action I'm talking about. You go to Goldman Sachs until 10:10. 10:10 basically, we were just sideways completely. And then we went on a huge tear. You look at MS, which is another bank. Morgan Stanley, 10:10. Straight tear. No, just sideways into a big tear, right? WFC, same story. So I'm watching all the banks here. 10:10. We were actually up on WFC. Straight tear. So JPM, which is one of the biggest banks, why the hell is it dumping like this into 10:10? I was going to take calls here. The market was different yesterday. I wasn't in my dip buying mode mentality, and these calls would have flew. So I was looking for the exact same type of play here today. So JPM was straight down from open. As you guys see here, I don't even know what the hell this is right here. This means it's bidless or something. This is not normal price action on banks, especially on a 10-minute chart. Same thing with this. It looks like one person sold and it went down this much. One person bought and it went up that much. Very, very odd, weird candles on JPM today. But again, it was the same type of play. JPM was straight down off the open, just like yesterday. Goldman Sachs was kind of sideways. It wasn't straight down. At least we had some green candles, and then we were kind of flat all day. Same thing with MS, just kind of flat all day. So why is JPM dumping like this? That's why I jumped in the JPM calls, obviously a little bit early here. They did close, I think, break even. So if you held on, congrats. If you guys zoom out on this play, I thought it was going to rip back just like yesterday, to be honest, looking at the other banks. But if you zoom out on JPM, my chart's going to be a little messy. I got a bunch of lines on here. I've shorted this thing like 100 times. But let's go to the daily here. We have a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders, which I want to show you if I can through all these. I'm not taking off the indicator, sorry guys. But you guys have this little shoulder here, you have a big head here, and then we're trying to form another shoulder here up to 119 level. So that's what I'm looking for right now in JPM. A little shoulder, little head, and now a little shoulder. Let's see if we can rip right back to 119. If this market wants to go higher, tech does need to take a break. I mean, look at this QQQ daily, guys. This is insane. QQQ daily is straight up in a line for like 7-8 days straight, whereas XLF and IWM, they've taken breaks in between, as you guys see here. This is a daily chart for XLF, bull flagging. It's a daily chart for IWM right here. IWM's going straight up too, okay. But yeah, XLF is lagging right now. If we want that final leg up to 4,200, 4,250 before CPI next week, which I think we might get, banks have to pick it up. And if banks pick it up, then SPX will fly. QQQ can go sideways for a few days and we can continue on the bullish trend. So that's my outlook on the market right now. That's just what I'm seeing, and let's see if let's see what really happens. Apple here, complete consolidation day. People are calling it bearish today. I seen on Twitter people are saying Apple's coming down, Apple's coming down. Look at yesterday's move, guys. Like, Apple is the biggest company, or one, I think, after Saudi Aramco, whatever. but you guys know what I mean. It's a $2 trillion+ company. Yesterday it went up $6. When a stock like Apple goes up $6, that's like, I don't even know how many billions of dollars in market cap it went up. And today we just basically did a complete sideways doji on it. So let's see what Apple wants to do. Maybe it needs 1 or 2 more days to chill. As you guys see, this whole run, we've gone on a run, consolidated for 3 days, and then rip. Consolidated 1 day, rip. Consolidated 3 days, rip. Consolidated 2 days, rip. So it's just been 1-2 days consolidation and then right back up for Apple. So you cannot say this is bearish. As a matter of fact, we started closing above the 200-day. When a stock reclaims the 200-day, it's usually a very, very bullish sign, and there's no bigger stock in the market than Apple. So you cannot be bearish right now. I know I want to short it back down too. I know the macro, I know the economy, I know the macro better than anyone in here, but I'm still not going to short until it gives me a reason to short. Tesla as well, closing above the 200-day moving average. Very, very extended. The RSI is way up there as well. It's all the way up at 74 if you guys look back in history. There will be a pullback at some point. As you guys see here in March, we were oversold, and look at that. We were oversold first on March 29th. It gave you a 2-day dip where all the bears probably jumped in puts, and then it gave you this massive 6% rip, $60 day on Tesla, which probably screwed all the shorts. And then after that, it completely rolled over. So just be patient. We'll catch these plays, but we have to have those blow-off tops. Once we start getting these blow-off tops on these companies, as you guys see here on Tesla as well, RSI on Tesla back here on this huge run. I know I'm going way back here. This is October. RSI went to 81. If you shorted that, you got 1 day down, $5. Your puts wouldn't have made shit. The next day was green, and the next day we went up 28 points, and then we went up 15 points, and then we went up 115 points. All those puts were smashed. RSI went all the way up to the 94s. And then finally, when all the shorts that started shorting back here are now stopped out or squeezed out of their puts, then the blow off top came, then the market bring Tesla right back. So be patient. Watch for these runs to finish. They're gonna have blow off tops. I'm telling you, they always have blow off tops. Just like this is the best example I can give you right here. Right here, RSI overdone, 72. We're overbought. Everyone wants to short. Everyone shorts. 3 days sideways to kill your puts premium. 1 day up, destroy your puts, $60 move up, and that's the blow off top. And that's when we want to catch this thing. When everyone turns bullish, when there's a blow off top, when the RSI maxes out, that's when we want to turn back bearish. And I'm waiting for that opportunity. Trust me, I got a lot of cash sitting around for that opportunity, and it's going to be very fun, but it's just not random. It will give you a blow off top. FNKO, oh no, those are not good earnings, I guess. This chart was just too beautiful for me to pass up. I did take a position. Obviously, it's a gamble on earnings, but you guys see this monthly chart? Like I don't even remember the last time I seen a chart this good looking. Look at this shoal. This is a monthly chart from 2018, guys, and it's cracking the level. Now apparently we're right back below the level because of earnings. Let's see if they have a conference call. I haven't even been able to look at it. The weekly was also cup and handle breakout. We have inverse head and shoulder. This is one of the most beautiful charts I've ever seen. Even if the earnings were bad, let's see what it does now. If it stays above today's close, if it gets above today's close, this thing is due for like a 20-30 point run. Look back in history at charts and tell me what you see. BTO gold was one I took today. This is a longer term gold play. As I told you guys, I was doing a lot of reading last night, a lot of research, and I do believe gold has come near a bottom. Maybe we go a little bit lower in October, but this is a dividend play for years and years out. I'm not selling any of my dividend plays. I just reinvest the dividends. And as you guys see here, we did base out for a long time under this $4.46 level. Came all the way up during that little craziness last year, gave it all back, and now we're retesting that previous resistance. I'm very comfortable holding this one for 3-4 years. It pays a 4% dividend, 4% plus dividend actually. And I think gold's gonna run, so I think the stock will go up and that dividend will pay me. So fine holding this one. I'm gonna add to it probably in October, or if we get a crazy dip soon. Other than that, nothing much to talk about there. Oxy completely destroyed because of crude. Their earnings weren't even that bad. Warren Buffett's going to be buying a lot of this one soon, and we will see where it goes. I want this one in my long-term account as well. I do love Oxy. I'm just waiting for the turn. As soon as tech comes down, I think oil will start running, and that's what I'm waiting for to take a long position in Oxy. This one can come down even more. This chart's really ugly right now. If you look at it on a daily, it does look like a bear flag. And if tech continues to rally, I do expect oil to keep coming down. Nvidia, great plays by Yash today. Hit this one a couple of times. This one was just based on the AMD hype. Nothing much to say about this one, but I gave you guys my thoughts. I do think that people are still trying to short. People probably took puts overnight. Will probably gap up tomorrow unless those jobs numbers come really bad. I don't see any bears on Twitter going away. They keep saying this is a top. They said it yesterday. They said it today. They're going to say it tomorrow. They're going to say it the next day. And until they're completely turned into bulls, I think this bull run will not stop. And once they turn into bulls, that's exactly when the rug's ready to pull. Other than that, let's see what happens. No one can tell the future. I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm just telling you my thoughts and what I studied and researched. And we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for attending. I'll see you.